There are so many storylines to this one. Obviously, the politics, the booing, the rise of American hockey, the fight for Canada to prove their reign remains, Jordan freaking Binnington, who was thrown under the bus repeatedly throughout this tournament, coming into the building where he won the cup in 2019, giving us a performance of a lifetime. I mean, pick one. But no doubt, this Four Nations Face-Off gave us some of the best hockey we've ever seen. True, best on best for the first time in nearly a decade. This was the purest, most passionate, charged up hockey I can remember in years. Again, it's just different when you rep your country on your chest. And after tonight, we've added a new chapter to what may be the greatest rivalry, with the political environment being what it is, with the booing in Canada, the shit talk leading up to this one.
I did it for the flag, not for the cameras.
Our team does not care about anything that they say.
We want them again.
Probably the most jacked up I've been.
It all came to a head one more time in Boston. For Canada, could they break through that defensive clinic the U.S. put on in Game 1 and put more than just one past the best goalie in the world? A big difference was Cale Makar. Helly's kryptonite last playoffs was in the lineup this time. But it was Josh Morrissey now out due to illness. As for the U.S., well, it was simple. They did it once, and they needed to bring it one more time. But a big blow for them, defenseman Charlie McAvoy was out. But with that, the stage was set. Winner takes all. And oh my, did it produce. There was no hat trick of fights to start this one, but the nerves, I think, were there early. It took a few minutes to settle in, as it was back and forth. Binnington with a nice stop on Werenski, but not 5 minutes in, Reinhart forces a turnover. It gets to McKinnon, finds open ice, fires, and scores. Nathan McDavid in motion through traffic, beats Hellebuck, seemingly the only way you can. You can't let him see it, and Canada would score for the fourth straight game. Coming right back as it's McKinnon for Doughty, and Hellebuck forced to come up with a huge pair of stops, keeps that pad down and keeps it a 1-goal game. The Canadians had a solid start, but then Larkin, broken out by Boldy, would come in alone, as it was almost deja vu from the last game. This time though, Binnington there to answer. But overall, I thought the Canadians had the better start. Here again, winning a battle, it's Bennett to the net, scramble in front as Hellebuck with another big stop, left pad this time, and look at those eyes. But then, with 3 to go, Matthews wins the puck behind the net to the front, and they'd score. They free the bird once more as it's Brady Tkachuk driving to the net. Canada caught watching the puck as he ties it up with the third of the tourney, and just like that, it's even. And it felt like a flashback to the last game. Tkachuk would run Harley in the corner as the U.S. began to get their feet under him, and just like last game, they'd finish the period strong. And so, overall, pretty damn even after 20. But with that, let's head to the second, where, interesting to note, the U.S. had not allowed a single goal after the first 20 minutes of play all tournament. And again, their defense was great, getting into the shooting lanes, and again, even when Canada got their game going, Helly was there as Canada got the first 3 shots of the period. But going the other way, Hanifin shot, rebound, and this one somehow stays out. Binnington now with a fantastic stop on Hughes. But really, and maybe it's just the PTSD from Game 1, it started to feel like a replay of last game. The U.S. just great defense, and eventually shot, rebound, Sanderson coming down, and he'd score as the U.S. would take their first lead of the game, just like Game 1. And shortly after, the first power play, while this time in the second period, went to Canada, just like Game 1. And again, the Americans fantastic defensively. This play beautiful from Eichel without a stick, so casual, and anything Canada got through, Hellebuck there to shut it down. I sound like a broken record, but if anything, the Americans would get the best scoring opportunity of the entire 2 minutes shorthanded. And then more of the same. The U.S. getting sticks in the way, Sanderson breaking up a 2-on-1, but Crosby finally getting Canada physical would lead to a fantastic chance, and surprise, surprise, Slavin saving another one. Before Bennett disrupting a pass, it's Marner back to Bennett, in shot, and he scores! Finally, breaking the script of last game. I was getting worried. It's a wicked shot, short side, roof daddy, as Canada ties this thing back up. And huge news. Matthew Tkachuk did not play more than maybe 5 seconds in the entire second half of the middle frame and would not play again for the rest of the game. And while the U.S. turned up the heat again late with a pair of massive hits near the end of the period, Harley gave them a taste of their own medicine, as Canada was also good in their own end, which meant through 40 minutes of play, the shots were even at 19 apiece. The score was even at 2 apiece, as it's about as even as it gets heading into the third, where Gensel with a breakaway in and shut down Binnington with another big stop. Then Gensel for Werenski and another, as he's forced to make a pair of nice stops, but he was nowhere near done. Helly on the other end was tested as well, as this one actually got by him but rang off the post, and suddenly it became a bit of a goalie duel with crazy close chances on both ends. A wild start to the third, Point with a nice job here, as the defensive play I just can't highlight enough. Both ways. Slavin especially though, an incredible game. What a block on Jarvis here. Parayko in his end with a deflection, just so tight out there, and so with 10 to go, it started to feel like sudden death. Canada began to push as Helly with another answer. McKinnon galloping down would get shut down again before pushing again, and it was right there. JT Miller interrupts this one as McKinnon had a wide open net and could have ended it, but did you expect anything else? After 60 minutes of play, it wasn't enough to solve it. Canada, US 2-2 overtime. Sound familiar? We saw it in 2010 and we saw it tonight. So the US with the first shot, then Gensel to Matthews, and so close. Binner the winner with a big time stop as the entire Garden on their feet. Matthews again, rebound, and oh my Jordan Binnington, are you actually kidding me? What a save right off the draw. It's Matthews again, and it's Binnington again, flashing the leather. I could not believe my eyes. Canada on their heels. I couldn't freaking breathe as Canada would get an offensive zone face-off. McDavid wins it. It would eventually get around to Marner. He finds McDavid wide open and he scores the McGolden goal. He beats Hellebuck with a gorgeous shot, and Canada still on top of the hockey world. It was 87 in 2010 and it's 97 in 25. Wow. Breathe, brother. More than anything, this hug from Cooper to Binnington, I think, has to be all of Canada. My goodness, as the Canadians take down the Americans 3-2 after 20 straight stops from Jordan Binnington, as he owns the Garden. More than anything though, I think we as the fans won. What an event this Four Nations Face-Off turned out to be. I don't know how we even go back to the regular season from here, but wow. Bragging rights stay in Canada for now. Thank you all so much for all the support throughout this tournament. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.